Hello everyone. Welcome to Kansas Future, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. The reigning champions are not just resting on their laurels after clinching the title. They are gearing up for battle in a way that might redefine their legacy. In a league where complacency can spell disaster, the Kansas City Chiefs are making waves. With whispers of even more blockbuster trades echoing through the corridors as compares of power. Imagine this, a roster already buzzing with talent is on the verge of an electrifying transformation. Think they're done? Oh, not even close. As the November 5 trade deadline approaches, all eyes are on the moves they're making. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. In the world of professional sports, the aura of a champion can often lead to a false sense of security, but not for the Kansas City Chiefs. No, this is a franchise that knows the value of staying ahead of the curve. After orchestrating a couple of impactful trades recently, they've signaled loud and clear that their pursuit of greatness is unyielding. According to reports from reputable sources, including the ever-reliable Jeremy Fowler, the Chiefs are actively scouting the trade market, particularly for cornerbacks. Why, you ask? Because in a brutal twist of fate, they've lost their starting corner, Jaylen Watson, to a devastating injury, a broken tibia and fibula. That's not just a setback, that's a call to arms. Let's take a moment to dissect the landscape here. The Chiefs, fresh off a victory and currently standing tall with an undefeated record, are not just content to rest on their laurels. They've already pulled off a significant coup by acquiring veteran wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins from the Tennessee Titans. That's right, a conditional 5th-round draft pick, potentially escalating to a 4th-rounder, was all it took to add one of the league's most electrifying talents to their arsenal. Then, as if that wasn't enough to whet your appetite, they followed it up by snatching pass rusher Josh Uche from the New England Patriots for a mere 6th-rounder. This is not just a team making trades. This is a franchise crafting a narrative. However, we have to get real for a second. Cornerback was already a topic of conversation heading into the season. With L'Jarius Sneed, a former top corner, traded to the Titans during the offseason, there were already question marks looming over the depth chart. Now, with Watson's injury, Trent McDuffie finds himself thrust into the spotlight as the Chiefs' undisputed top cornerback. And while McDuffie has stepped up admirably, the team cannot ignore the glaring lack of depth around him. Beyond McDuffie and Watson, they're looking at a collection of corners who have seen minimal action: Shamari Connor and Nazeeh Johnson, with a grand total of 3 starts between them. That's a thin line to walk when you're vying for a championship. As they gear up for the upcoming battles, Johnson's concussion during the recent win over the Las Vegas Raiders adds another layer of uncertainty to an already precarious situation. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite these hurdles, defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo has shown a knack for molding defenses that can weather any storm. This season, the Chiefs have continued their trend as one of the NFL's elite defensive teams, ranking 5th in both total and scoring defense. They're proving that even with challenges, they can adapt and overcome. You cannot underestimate the value of having a sharp mind at the helm of your defense, especially when the stakes are this high. But here is the kicker. Even with the defense holding strong, significant question marks loom over the offense. Patrick Mahomes, one of the most dynamic quarterbacks of our generation, is having a rough go of it, throwing more interceptions, 9, than touchdowns, 8, this season. Yes, you heard that right. How often do we see the great Mahomes struggle like this? The Chiefs are winning games, but they're doing so while holding their breath every time their star quarterback drops back to pass. This raises an important question. How long can they maintain this winning streak with such inconsistencies? As we analyze the landscape of potential trades, one name that keeps surfacing is that of Travis White, the veteran cornerback from the Los Angeles Rams. Let's connect the dots here. White has been a healthy scratch for 3 consecutive games, and Rams head coach Sean McVay has admitted they've granted permission for White's agent to explore trade options. This is a significant development, folks. A 2-time Pro Bowler and former first-team All-Pro, White was once considered one of the top corners in the league. However, injuries, including an ACL tear and an Achilles injury last season, have clouded his recent performances.
In a league where your greatest accomplishments define you, we've joined an elite group.
The question now is, can White rediscover that elite form in Kansas City? At just 29 years old, he still has the potential to be a game changer. If the Chiefs are willing to take a calculated risk, this could be the type of move that solidifies their defense and bolsters their quest for yet another championship ring. Now, I can feel the excitement brewing. This is a franchise unafraid to make bold moves, proving once again that in this league, it's all about the relentless pursuit of greatness. Believe it, the trade deadline is just around the corner, and the Chiefs are poised to strike. All right, let's dive deeper into this ever-evolving narrative. The Kansas City Chiefs stand at a critical juncture in their season, and the moves they make in the coming days could very well define their path, not only for the remainder of the year, but for years to come. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't just about patching up holes in the roster. It's about fortifying a dynasty in the making. When you're the reigning champions, every decision carries weight, and the stakes couldn't be higher as the NFL trade deadline looms large on the horizon. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the broader implications of these trades. The acquisition of DeAndre Hopkins alone sends shockwaves through the league. This is a player who has been a dominant force at wide receiver for years. His ability to make contested catches and create separation is simply elite. Pairing him with the likes of Mahomes is a strategic masterstroke. The chemistry these two could develop on the field is a tantalizing prospect for Chiefs fans. Imagine defensive coordinators around the league scrambling to find a way to stop this high-octane offense. The Chiefs aren't just looking to compete, they're looking to assert their dominance. And let's not overlook Josh Uche, the pass rusher with a proven track record of getting after the quarterback. Adding him to a defensive line that already boasts considerable talent is about enhancing pressure and creating chaos in opposing backfields. Uche brings versatility and speed, traits that can be invaluable in pivotal moments of close games. This is a calculated effort to ensure the Chiefs aren't only strong on the outside, but can also create opportunities for their secondary to thrive. Speaking of the secondary, the situation remains precarious. The Chiefs are entering a phase where they'll need to rely on unproven players. While that can sometimes yield unexpected gems, it also introduces a layer of risk. McDuffie has risen to the occasion thus far, but can he shoulder the burden of being the go-to corner when it matters most? With Watson sidelined, the Chiefs need to be proactive, and that's where the trade market becomes essential. The front office has their eyes peeled for potential cornerback acquisitions, and the name Travis White looms large. Picture this: if they can strike a deal to bring in a player of White's caliber, they might just solve their cornerback conundrum. But it's not just about White's past accolades. It's about finding a way to integrate him into a system that thrives on aggression and adaptability. If he can regain his form, he would be a monumental asset to a team that's already riding high on confidence. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: Mahomes' recent struggles. This isn't the typical output we associate with one of the league's brightest stars. 9 interceptions to 8 touchdowns? That's not just a statistical anomaly. It's a cause for concern. This raises questions about the effectiveness of the offensive scheme and the support surrounding him. Can they revitalize the offense to complement Mahomes' skill set? There's no question that they have the talent, but the execution has to align with the aspirations of a championship team. It's time for the coaching staff to roll up their sleeves and find solutions that maximize Mahomes' potential. We also need to consider the broader context of the league. As the Chiefs strive to maintain their undefeated record, the competition is fierce. Teams are constantly looking to bolster their rosters, and any misstep could cost them dearly. In this cutthroat environment, the Chiefs must remain vigilant and proactive. They can't afford to sit back and let opportunities pass by. Every day leading up to the trade deadline is critical, and the pressure is palpable. Moreover, the defensive unit under Spagnuolo has been remarkable in adapting to adversity. Even with the losses they've endured, they've managed to remain a formidable force in the NFL. This speaks volumes about the culture within the organization. Players are stepping up when their names are called, a testament to the leadership instilled by the coaching staff.
Super Bowl champion.
We blazed our own trail and staked our claim at the top.
Kansas City, you got a champion.
As the
But we
Chiefs
know
continue to
there's
explore
another
options,
level to
that
this.
culture of resilience and adaptability will be their guiding light. Let's talk about the fans for a moment. They deserve to see their team make moves that reflect the ambition and determination that define the Chiefs. This franchise has a storied history and a bright future, but fans want to see their team take every chance to solidify their standing as a perennial powerhouse. The excitement in the air is electric, and the sense of possibility is undeniable. As we look ahead, it's clear that the Kansas City Chiefs are navigating uncharted waters. The trade deadline is a double-edged sword. It can either bolster a team's aspirations or expose its weaknesses. With the right moves, they could enhance their chances at another Super Bowl run. However, they need to tread carefully. Every decision carries weight. They can't afford to gamble on players who don't fit the culture or scheme. The stakes are too high, and the window for success is often narrower than we'd like to believe. In conclusion, as we approach the deadline, the Kansas City Chiefs are poised to make their mark. The potential for new acquisitions, the ongoing evolution of the roster, and the unwavering pursuit of excellence will be the hallmarks of this organization. They're not just chasing victories. They're crafting a legacy that could resonate for years to come. Whether it's bolstering their cornerback depth or fortifying their offensive capabilities, one thing is certain: the Kansas City Chiefs are in it to win it, and they're just getting started. Today, we're diving into some big NFL trade rumors surrounding Cincinnati Bengals star wide receiver T. Higgins. With the Bengals struggling to a 3-5 record, there's buzz that Higgins could be on the trade block, and one possible destination is right here in Kansas City. Let's break down what this could mean for our Chiefs. T. Higgins was originally drafted by the Bengals in the second round back in 2020, alongside Joe Burrow, forming one of the AFC's top receiver duos. But with Cincinnati's season taking a nosedive, they may decide to trade Higgins rather than risk losing him for nothing due to salary cap issues. Quarterback Joe Burrow got his extension, and Jamar Chase is in line for a big payday too, making it tough for Cincinnati to keep all their top talent. On the Chiefs' side, while we recently traded for DeAndre Hopkins, he's 32 and not the long-term answer for our passing game. Imagine pairing Mahomes with Higgins, who's only 25 and has proven himself as a reliable big play receiver. Adding Higgins would give us a solid young wide receiver who could help sustain our offense for years to come. Before we continue, take a second to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and drop a like if you're excited about what a Higgins trade could mean for the Chiefs' future. So, what would Higgins bring to our offense? He'd complement our current roster perfectly. Marquise Brown and Hopkins are both free agents at the end of the season, and we know Travis Kelce won't play forever. Higgins could bring that much-needed firepower, especially with first-rounder Xavier Worthy and second-rounder Rashee Rice still developing. Worthy has shown flashes, and Rice has been solid in short-yardage plays, but Higgins would offer that true outside threat Mahomes needs. The Chiefs are leading the NFL at 7-0. But we know that record alone isn't enough to secure another Super Bowl. A player like Higgins could elevate us to another level and help maintain the Chiefs dynasty for years. Stay tuned, Chiefs fans, because this ride is far from over. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all the Chiefs news. See you in the next video.